Hi everyone, I don't know if you can see this very well, but I've now finished my butterfly shawl. It's a little bit too big for the table, but as you can see, it's turned out, I think, really nice. It might do with some blocking. I shall see what it's like when it's finished, but if I get in close there, you can see how these little butterflies are formed by doing the stitches, and it's quite a simple stitch to do, and it's grown really quickly. And what I want to do next is add some beads on the edge. I've done a simple chain lace effect on the edge here, like a net effect I should say, and into that I'm going to do some add some beads just every so often, not on every one because I think it would be too crowded. And I've worked out how many I need, and I will show you how to add those to the edge. Here's the beads here, just got those from a craft shop, and they've got a hole through the centre. You do need to make sure that your yarn will go through the hole before you buy them, so it's worth taking a little strand of yarn to the shop and just test that it will go through. I'm using a crochet cotton and it's quite fine, so that will go through there. So I shall show you the next step and we'll add those along the edge. Now what I suggest you do is when you come to the row, before you're ready to add your beads, you get to the end. Now I would just undo just a few stitches, just go back a little bit, because what you don't want is a knot anywhere where your beads are going to go, because they might not pass over the knot, if you get what I mean. So just pull it back a little bit, and then we will cut the yarn here and we'll thread the beads onto what's left of the ball of yarn. So it's just simply a matter of counting, working out how many you want and threading them on. Now I always add a few more just in case you've miscalculated, because it'd be awful to get to the end and find that you didn't have enough and have to cut it again and either undo it or add another knot anywhere into your work. So I would certainly just pop a few more, because when you get to the end, excuse me, can't get that through. When you get to the end, they'll just drop off the ball anyway if you've got too many. So simply pass them all onto your yarn like that. I'll carry on doing that. I won't video it all because there's 35 of them each side, so we're looking at about 60 beads. So I shall come back when I've threaded all those on. So there we go, there's all the beads threaded onto the yarn, which is still on the ball here. And it's just a matter of sliding them down out of the way so that you can work. Sometimes they just take a little bit of easing down the thread. And we're going to rejoin the yarn now back where we cut it, where we took that last row just back a little bit. And I want to join it with a magic knot. If you don't know how to do a magic knot, there are instructions in one of my videos, but it's a simple technique of just tying the yarn around each other. So that one goes around that one. And then this one goes around this one. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's worth it because it's a good knot. And then simply pull them together. Just pull each end out and pull it nice and tight. And then you can cut those two pieces off. Cut it nice and short, and it makes a really strong knot. It never comes apart, that doesn't it? It's really well hidden and it's quite a smooth, tiny knot out of the way. And then you can carry on and take the finish that row again now, take it back up there, and then that knot will be hidden in here rather than in the part with your beads. So I was just doing 5 chains separated by 2 double crochets from that row. So just take that back up there and then we'll begin adding the beads. So there we go, I'm back at the other end. I've finished that last row off where I'd undone it, and now I'm just going to slip stitch so that I'm in the centre of this next loop, as if I'd done a double crochet in there. Then I'm going to start off the adding the beads. So that brings me into the centre of that 5 chain stitches from the previous row, and now I'm going to do 5 chains with a bead, then 5 chains and anchor it back here, and then I'll just do 5 chain, 5 chain, and then another bead, 5 chain, 5 chain, then another bead, so it goes on like that up the edge. So I shall do 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll bring the bead up the thread so that it's up next to your needle. Now this is a little bit tricky, but you get used to it eventually. Just hold your bead and the chains and hook your yarn through and just pull it nice and tight. So that's 1 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you can do as many chains as you like, whatever you add in your beads to. Just do different designs, and I shall anchor that into there, and then do 5 chain, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and anchor that into the next space, and then I will add another bead. So we've got a bead on there with a 5 chain space and a 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and anchor that in there, and then add another bead by doing 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then bring the bead up do your chain around it, 2, 3, 4, 5, and anchor that back into that chain below, and then do 2 lots of 5 again. You can see that there, you can see how the beads just hang that little bit longer than the 2 in between, so it gives it quite a nice effect for the bead. And because you've anchored the bead in that chain, I'll just show you that. I'll just pull my thread a bit so I don't start undoing it, but if I hold that to the camera, you should be able to see there how the thread goes through the bead but is anchored there, so the bead won't slide up and down that chain. It will stay put, so you're not going to have it suddenly down here. It will always be there in the centre. So I shall show you once more, try and get it as close as I can to the camera for you. So we'll do 5 chain and then bring the bead up the thread. Do the chain around it, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another one anchored in there, and then I shall continue up the shawl, and I shall come back and show you what it looks like when it's all finished. So there we are, that's it finished with all the beads added. I can't quite spread it out on the table isn't big enough, but I've got half of it, and you can see the beads here at the bottom end, and it goes up the edge, and I think it does look quite effective. Put 1 bead separated by 2 lots of chains, And as I say, you can see there how the bead is fastened at the end of each one. I'm really pleased with that, and if you have a go at adding beads, hope you have fun. Bye for now.